morning, Unity and Marin. All right. We're going to be, first of all, I'd like to introduce our friend, Sky Nelson. He's been here before. Will you make him welcome, please? All right. He's going to help me with this opening song. This is a new one. Desiree sang it last week, but we're going to be doing it for the next couple of months. So I'd love for you all to learn it, and I'll help you today. It's a Karen Drucker song, I Start My Day with Love. What, yes, stand up. I think that's a great idea. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Let's sing that again. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, 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 love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of love. Peace, 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 peace. 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 Let's try joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. Yeah. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, I do is infused with joy. You got it. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Again. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. Love, love, love. Peace, 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 peace. Joy, 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 and love. Love, love, love. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And if I could have the regional YOU group come on up here on the platform. All right, good to have you here. This is our regional. Some of them have already left, maybe. I don't know. But it's so good to have our regional YOU group. YOU stands for Youth of Unity. And they're sponsors, so high school and sponsors. And they're from Vacaville. They're from Fresno. They're from Walnut Creek. They're from Sacramento. Did I miss anybody? I think I got them. So real briefly, give us a highlight about rallies and about YOU. All right, so I see two hands. I see three hands.
One of us.
Hi, so we are the regional officers of the West Central region. My name's Ivan, this is Brody, that's Henry. And we plan rallies, which are youth retreats that people like these people back behind us would go to. And they're for spiritual growth, and we do things like singing, dancing, discussing topics, and sometimes digging deep, and also talking about like our last one was all about self-expression. And I'll pass this down to you.
Okay, so the age ranges for these things. There are two main categories. There's leadership and then there's rally. Leadership is during February. They usually go from Friday afternoon to Sunday afternoon. We have a leadership, we have a spring rally, and we have a fall rally. For leadership, you have to be a minimum of 13 years old to go as a participant. You can also be sponsored, but for that you have to have someone going there. And for a rally, you have to be 14, but if you went to leadership, you are eligible to go to rally, even though you are not 14. You can go while 13. Some of the people back here have done that, and I'm pretty sure people will still do that. So if you have family members, children, anywhere from 14 to 18, tell them to come. It's a really fun thing. Grandchildren or children, nieces, nephews, anything.
All right, so as my other two regional officers mentioned, we have a leadership, and that sounds kind of strange, like why does a youth group have leadership? Well, that's where we learn skills to become leaders. So, okay, so fun. Learning how to use a microphone. And so we will have events that will teach us how to become skills and eventually how to become regional officers. And becoming a regional officer is you get to go to Mike's house and how to go along with Mary, and they teach us how to build events.
Well, we have to plan the events.
Well, we have, planning and building are same. So, and as for when we're actually at the events, we have our head sponsors. I think Mike Lawson, if he could raise his hand, is the head sponsor, I believe, right? That's the thing. Okay, so, and then basically you go to sponsors, and if anything goes horribly wrong, we would go to the regional consultant. But for the most part, as the regional officers, they only let us know if we kind of misdo something along the road, and they're like, hey, you misdid this. This is how we're going to fix it down the road. And it's pretty much youth-led and adult-guided would be the best way to put it.
For the record, nothing's ever gone horribly wrong. So.
Is that all?
And I just want to say that, I've sometimes used the phrase that rather than cursing the darkness, I'd rather light a light, rather light a candle. And when I see what the Youth of Unity are doing, they are learning about how we are all one. They are learning about how we are all in this together. They are learning about their own sacred selves. They are learning about how to work together. They are learning about unity principles. So I just want you to know that Unity is doing something very good in our region. And I'm so grateful for Mike and for the YOU leaders and for our own YOU leader, Cindy Hall, who is back here. Yeah. And so I'd like to ask you all to please stand and extend your hands, and we're going to give them a blessing. I know that some or all of them, I don't know, may need to take off. They were with us in the first service. But as we extend our hands, please repeat after me as we give them a blessing. We bless you.
We bless you.
We recognize the Christ as you.
We recognize the Christ as you.
We see with you.
We see with you.
A world of infinite possibilities.
A world of infinite possibilities.
And we know with you.
And we know with you.
Success.
Success.
Prosperity.
Prosperity.
Blessing.
Blessing.
We love you.
We love you.
Let's give it up for them. All right. Thank you so much. And at some point in the future, I hope that we can, and I talked with Mike about this, where we can arrange a whole service where we can just do this together, okay? So, again, thank you, YOU, for being with us. and we bless you. And we have a number of younger children here now, and a number of our high schoolers graduated. So we're growing a new group, but envision what we can do, okay? So thank you for being with us. Again, let's give them some love.
Thank you. And regional guide folks, thank you for coming all this way. We really appreciate you being here today. Let's give them more love again. So good morning, Unity in Marin. My name is Lisa Starbird, and I'm very grateful to be able to lead you through the service today. We opened up this morning with Jason Myers on piano, Carolyn Gauthier, who is our music director, and Sky Nelson, who is a performer, physicist, and educator, and he is also the music director for Global Heart Center for Spiritual Living. So you're going to get to hear more from him later. Yeah? Yay. It was wonderful this morning. All right. So at Unity in Marin, as a community, we consciously came up with our vision statement. Please say this with me. We are a spiritual community committed to authenticity and the expression of love and support for each other in living an awakened, enlightened life. So there are always many opportunities for us to connect here through classes and Wednesday night services, different things. There's something for everyone. And we don't have time to mention all of them, but there are definitely flyers out in the courtyard, people, volunteers you can talk to about anything you have questions about. And we just encourage you to sign up and be part of something, because it's a great way to get to know other people. So next Sunday at 1:15 after the second service, we have a community meeting. And this is going to be a visioning for our 2020. What is it we want? And we really want you to come and bring your ideas and your intentions and just be part of this, this interactive special meeting next week. And Wednesday nights. Now, Wednesday nights are really close to my heart because I'm the Wednesday service coordinator and have been for over 10 years. And we continue to grow them. And if you don't know, we've got a night where the prayer chaplains do. We have sound healings. We have Reverend Tim every month. First Wednesdays, Reverend Tim is part of it. We have a lot of wonderful things, and it's yet another wonderful way to connect. This Wednesday is a prayer chaplain night, and the title is What is Love? And there'll be music and a service on what is love. So please plan to be there this Wednesday. And it's almost time to clean up the campus. Saturday, March 21st, we're going to need some volunteers to help us. So please be sure to sign up at the hub or with Maddie Vaughn, who is our volunteer coordinator. Yes? Is that what I heard? Congratulations. Thank you for stepping into that way to serve us. Reverend Tim, would you be willing to talk about the next slide?
Thank you. This will be on Ash Wednesday, February 26th at 7:15. Now, regardless of what faith tradition you may be from, this is going to be a time of music, meditation. I'm going to be giving a short message. Reverend Medora will be assisting with the service as well. And this is a time to really center and focus on what we are and what it is that we're wishing to release and what it is we're wanting to embrace. So that's going to be on Ash Wednesday, February 26th at 7:15. Thank you.
Thank you. And now if you'll all stand as you're able, and we'll sing together the statement of truth.
There is only one power, only one presence, active in all my life and in the universe. God the good in all, through all, and over all. There is only one power, only one presence, active in all my life and in the universe. God the good
Good morning. I'm going to play you an original song that's coming out in my album that's being released this spring in May. So I hope you'll continue to follow that. And I'd like to invite you to consider the type of love that is expressed when we listen deeply and see each other deeply. La 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 la. La 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 la. We sit in darkness quietly, surrounded by a boiling sea, and I try to open my eyes a bit. For what I've seen, there are no words. The depth of how a soul can hurt, and I try to open my eyes a bit. Here in the dark, I will peel back the layers of my heart. I'll stay with you, and we'll open to the feelings that come through. Me and you. If you take the chance to say what's true, do you fear I'll raise my voice at you instead? I've tried to open my eyes a bit. Well, I try to see the things you do. It's a little more room to move as I just try to open my eyes a bit. Here in the dark, I will peel back the layers of my heart. I'll stay with you, and we'll open to the feelings that come through. Me and you. Although we come from different lives, I'll set my history aside to see your point of view. 'Cause underneath suspicious words, I hear the ways that you've been hurt, and I want to know the way things were for you. Here in the dark, I will peel back the layers of my heart. I'll stay with you. We're open to the feelings that come through. Here with you, I see the light grow steadily. It's coming from inside of me, and I try to open my eyes. Thank you.
It's wonderful to have you here, Sky. Thank you. Welcome home. I'm Reverend Tim Lytle. I'm the senior minister here. And we first want to welcome all of our love streamers. If we could look at this corner camera and wave to them around the world. Shaka to those in Hawaii. We're so grateful that you're here with us, that you're part of our virtual community. And it's good to have all of you here. If this is your first time here, or first time since I became the senior minister here, would you raise your hand? We have a gift for you. Anybody? Anybody? Right over here. Right, thank you for being here. Anyone else? First time or first time since I came? All right. And if you are new here, whether you're love streaming or first time to be here or since I came, if you go to this phone number, you can text the word welcome, and we can establish connection by way of email and text. And if you've been here a while, go to that same number and text the word loop so that I can keep you in the loop as to special things that are coming up. Thank you all for being here. Do you sometimes feel like you're rushing? Did any of you come on the highway? I've sometimes felt like I could just put my car in neutral and they'll push me. There's such a hurry, and our lives can be so fast-paced. And all of us have things going on in our lives. I was thinking of this morning, Alan Young talking about his brother who has cancer and other physical challenges. I'm thinking of the things that are going on in our lives. Sometimes here in our community, we have people who are dealing with homelessness. Some of our children in our youth group. They're not out there, they're here. Physical challenges, relationship issues. Wherever we're at, God is. Wherever we're at, the presence of God fully is present. So I invite us to take a deep breath. If you wish, you may close your eyes or relax your gaze. And as you take a deep breath, make that 18-inch journey from your head to your heart. Feel that presence of love, the presence of Spirit. Right where we are, God is. God is our source. And as we breathe into that, we feel that presence. Spirit, we feel this presence filling us, filling this room, filling the rooms of the love streamers going throughout this community, this country, this world. Holding those in Thailand affected by the mass shooting. Holding those in different world areas that are feeling pain. Right now, we know the peace, the presence. Spirit, we tune into the presence of love, the presence of peace, the presence of wholeness and health. Right here, right now, Spirit, we are in the presence. We bless this service, the music, the spoken word, all that happens here. We are immersed in love, and we give thanks, and so it is. Amen. If our prayer chaplain would come up at this time with the prayer box. It's Melanie. Has the prayer requests of our community that we hold in prayer. And the prayer box will be in the narthex in the entrance area at the end of the service. If you wish to put your requests in there, we pray for those and then send them the silent unity to be prayed for. And now Lisa Starbird will lead us in our meditation.
So I'll do the divine reading, and then afterwards we'll go into a few minutes of silent meditation. The word for today is compassion. My heart is compassionately connected with all life. Compassion is found at the meeting point of my heart and the hurts of the world, moving me past solving problems into the realm of oneness. As I ground myself in simply being, I become a healing force for good. I then take any needed action that naturally arises from my inner stillness and peace. When I am reflecting on another soul, I can silently affirm, I am you. With each inhalation and exhalation, there is no separation in God. In my inner connectedness with all life, I recognize that there is also no separation between me and any of my sisters and brothers in this world. As I embrace my God presence, I find the oneness that expresses as my heartfelt compassion. I am a vital instrument of the healing activity of God in the world. From Matthew chapter 22, verse 39, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Into the silence.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
I'm gonna live in love. I'm gonna do what it takes to let go. I'm gonna take my seat and let love run the show. Everything that I look at, I get attached. But I'm not gonna give weight to the wounds of my past. When it's me that will lose if I choose to resent what I have. But since I've got another chance, I'm gonna live in love. I'm gonna do what it takes to let go. I'm gonna take my seat and let love run the show. Everything that I look at, I get sucked in. And I'm already miles beyond it by the time I begin. And the details of the moment are already the past. But since I've got another chance, well, I'm gonna live in love. I'm gonna do what it takes to let go. I'm gonna take my seat and let love run the show. I'm gonna hold your heart as precious as anything that I know, and I'm gonna take my seat and let love run the show. Show, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna hold your heart as precious as anything that I know, and I'm gonna take my seat and let love run the show. I'm gonna take my seat and let love run the show.
The title today is, What's Love Got to Do with It? I remember watching some early, the very first presidential candidate debates, and one of them was talking about the power of love and moving to a politics of love. And I saw some comments, like one person said, I fell out of my chair laughing when I heard that. Because people don't think of love as powerful. People don't typically think of love as something that can shift our world. Many people think that it has to be by force, by power. And so some people ask, what does love have to do with it? For some people, love is an emotion, a very fleeting emotion. Like one person said, yeah, I believe in love. I fall in love with someone new every day. Maybe some of you have heard of someone who has described themselves as a serial monogamist. That is, that they keep falling in love with a new person, and and they love that feeling of newness. The birds sound better, the leaves are greener, the sky is bluer, the earth smells better, life is just great, and they love that feeling of that biochemical reaction that is going on in the body. That is some aspect of love, but not its highest expression, not its deepest expression. How many of you watched the Super Bowl last Sunday? How many of you watched the commercials? Okay, I love the commercials, And last week in my message, I had talked some about 4 loves that C.S. Lewis had written. And so I'm watching the commercials because I don't want to miss anything. And up comes this insurance commercial that goes into an explanation of the 4 Greek words for love, ending with agape. And I thought, what? Just setting that power of intention, I got a Super Bowl commercial, So agape is the Greek word for that highest form of love, unconditional love that really is divine love. Now, many times when I give a message, I try to come to a conclusion. I try to lead us to a particular conclusion that we can experience within or experience in our consciousness. And I'm going to do this a bit different. I'm going to give you the conclusion now. Okay? Okay, here's the conclusion. You are love. Not just have love or feel love. Your essence is love. I remember as, from ages 13 to 15, I went through the dark night of the soul. Some people question whether a 13 and 14-year-old can experience the dark night of the soul. I did. Life had lost meaning. It was absolutely absurd. I could not understand why I was here. Why did I come here? I think someone made the wrong delivery. I got delivered to the wrong place. What am I doing here? Everything looked completely absurd. Nothing had meaning. Nothing made any sense to me. And each day, I was hanging on by just a thread. Each day, I wondered if I would survive that day. And I did that every day for 2 years. Now, the dark night of the soul is too good of an opportunity to waste. One of the conclusions I came to while I was going through that time was that I made a decision to hang around. I made a decision to stay on this planet. Because if I decided otherwise, I might miss the opportunity to see how it could have turned out. It was a philosophical construct that I came up with. Like, yeah, I'm in hell, so it can't get any worse. So why not stick it out and see if there are other options? So that's how I lived. And then at age 15, in the mountains of Colorado, I went away by myself, standing on the porch, looking at the moon rising up. I was thinking of this as I saw the full moon this morning and last night. And I was watching the moon rise up over the pine trees and the aspen trees in Colorado. And I was immersed in total love. This presence of love, the presence of what we sometimes call the divine, or source, or spirit, or God, or whatever name you give to it, that presence of love was so permeating and so everywhere present. I saw that that's all there is. It's pure love. There was no guilt. There was no sin in it. There was no feeling bad about oneself, because it was pure creativity, pure intelligence, pure love. And I realized I am that. That was a revelation. No one had taught me that. It was a revelation to realize I am that, and not only am I that, everyone else is that. And then I began to see us as these spiritual beings of light, spiritual beings of pure love, the divine presence wearing masks and trying to pretend to be something else. And it making us neurotic and sick and feeling separate instead of knowing what we really are. I don't know if you ever do this. I do this occasionally. Not every day, but occasionally. I will go to the mirror when no one else is around. I have the door shut. I will go to the mirror and I will get very close to the mirror without my glasses on, and I'll just stare at myself in the eyes. And I'll ask, who's back there? Who's looking through this? Who is seeing this? What am I? What are you? Do you ever ask yourself that? You are love. There is so much more to you than can be fathomed by the world's standards. So much more. I remember when I was a student in graduate school, getting my Master of Divinity degree at seminary. I had a '59 Chevy. There was a short period of time where I was homeless. I was living in my car on crackers, peanut butter, and Pepto-Bismol. In my car was dirty laundry and homework. Any of you ever gone through graduate school? Have you ever done it living in a car? Some of you maybe. Coming to this community and experiencing some of our own community that is or has been homeless, including some of our youth department. And I ask myself, what is love? What is mine to do? How do I interact with this? Yes, I know everything first begins in consciousness, so we know in unity we first need to know that God is our source. But are you familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs? You know, on those 5 stages of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the top one is self-actualization. Well, Maslow's theory was that in order to get to that stage, these other needs need to be met. And the first of those stages is like food, shelter, safety, survival. And I asked myself, what is love? What does love have to do with it? How does love intersect with the needs in our world, in our congregation, in the wider world? How do we intersect with the needs that are there? And not to do it in a way that is a handout or looking down on, but where we really are with the other person or with the situation going on. How do we do that? Obviously, we need to come from a place of love. Because love is that divine, eternal essence. Real love never it gets depleted. And I'm talking about that presence of God. How do we live that presence in our everyday lives? Is there someone this last week that you connected with on the level of love and really listened to them and really heard them and really saw where they were at in their life? Didn't try to fix it, but you really heard them and were with them and listened. Listening is one of the hardest skills there is. To be really present with someone, to set your own agenda aside, and as the song said, to take a seat and let love lead. We are the presence of love. There's enough love in this room and those who are love streaming to shift our world. Because it's so powerful. It can shift our entire country, our entire world, our love. Now, it can be really fun to just do some random acts of love and kindness. Do you sometimes do that? Yesterday, I was driving down Nave, and a woman wanted to pull out from Safeway. An older woman that looked like maybe she had difficulty turning her head. Lots of traffic. And so I stopped and let her in, and she waved so enthusiastically. It was a simple act. I recognized that I received much more in that moment than I gave. When we reach out in love, when we reach out from authenticity, when we reach out from what we really are, life changes. There are times in our lives where we are hurt. There are times in our life when we are disappointed. There are times in our life where we're concerned about what's happening in our world. What's love got to do with it? Everything. This is the power that changes our world. This is the power that connects us all. This is the power that led to someone being on a cross, looking down at those crucifying him and saying, "Forgive them. They don't know what they're doing." Who prayed for them. Love. Love is the key. And you are that. That's what you really are. I wish I could just take a magic wand for a moment and wave it, and everyone see themselves for what you really are. You're beautiful beyond comprehension. You are so loving, it can't even be understood. You are so divine that if you knew what you really were, you would realize that nothing is impossible for you. And you would know that you are here to touch other people at the point of their need. And even when one finds themselves in the point of need, as I did, and later in my life as a chaplain ended up in low-income housing, surrounded by the mentally ill and drug addicts. And I remember one of them knocking on my door, and I opened the door, and they had slit both their wrists. And they said, "Would you take me to the hospital?" I said, "Sure, let's go." I recognized that even in those difficult times, that there was love. That when I could give love, I was never poor. When I could give love, I was never a victim. When I could give love, I was never powerless. Another neighbor across the way had schizophrenia. And he came over to my door early one morning. And he said, "Chaplain Tim, I think that I've sold my soul to the Antichrist." I said, "Come on in, let's talk. Let's talk." He said, "I don't think there's any hope for me. I believe I'm going to hell. I believe I've sold my soul to the Antichrist." I said, "Are you worried about that?" He said, "Yeah, I'm real worried. I'm real concerned." And I said, "Well, if you had really sold your soul to the Antichrist, do you think you'd be worried about it?" And he said, "That's a good point." So he's like, "So you're saying that because I'm concerned about it, that says that I haven't done that?" And I said, "That's right. And Tony, you are such a good person. You're one of the most loving people I've ever met. There's no way, Tony. When I see you, I see someone who is living a life of love and living a life of God." He was so blessed. He was just leaping with joy. And I would sometimes hear him early in the morning. He was Pentecostal. I'd hear him early in the morning with his front door open, just praying in tongues and loud. Wherever you go, wherever you are, there is love. And there is an opportunity for you to give, because in truth, you are that presence of God. In truth, that source is living itself as you. In truth, that power, that resource, that abundance, that health, that divinity is always expressing as you. Allow it. Open yourself to it. Let it come. Let yourself be the love that the world needs. That's why we're here. That's what we're here to do, to shine our light. Not to hide in the darkness, not to be scared, not to be cursing the darkness, but to be the light of the world. That's what we are here to do. That's what love has to do with it. Thank you. Let's cement that in with some affirmations. If you would repeat after me, I am love.
I am love.
I bring love to the world. I never run out of love. I am the presence of God in action. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Thank you. Oh, that's the truth. If you are an auto donor, it sounds like a drive-through in your car. Not a bad idea. If you give automatically, like, credit card or from your checking account, in the office we have this stack of cards, and you might, whatever you give. When I was homeless, or when I was living in low-income housing, I still tithed because I knew God is my source. It may not be much, but little is much when God is in it. So whatever you're able to give. I ran out of checks, so I signed up for the auto donor thing. I went on to our website, and so we have these cards, the stack of cards you can get in our front office if you're an auto donor, and they have affirmations on it. And I'll read next week's. Because I handed this week's in the first service. And there's a place on the back to put your... That's okay, I'll read this one. Thank you, sir. But there's also a place for you to put your prayer request on it. I am a mighty magnet with the power to attract unto myself everything I divinely desire. I remember thinking, am I ever going to get out of this hole? But I knew that God was my source. God's not broke, and there's no lack in God. So, as our ushers come forward, as you get your offerings ready, or your card, as we place it over our heart, please repeat after me. I bless this offering, with love, and I give thanks for the ability to give. And so it is. Amen.
Just as we give, so we receive. Richly we live in one golden week. There is nothing that we can lack. Just as love gives it back. Just as we give, so we receive. Richly we live in one golden week. There is nothing that we can lack. We give from love. Love gives it back.
We are guided by that inner source of love that comes from the deepest places in ourself, the light within ourselves. We know that love is leading the way forward in the ways that we want to go. So I invite you to drop into that place in yourself that knows what you want to bring forth today, this week. Love will lead the way. yourself. Do what you love. Think for yourself. Do what you love. If you can simply see what matters, then love will lead you there. You love the things you've always done. You love those things you've always done. If you can simply see your history, then love will lead you there. Love will lead, oh, love will lead. Love will lead you there. All right, give me a clap. There we go. Your vision of tomorrow matters. Your visions of tomorrow matter. If everyone can see the picture, then love will lead us there. Together, it will. Love will lead, oh, love will lead. Love will lead us there. The world is changing around us, isn't it? You see it around you. Do you feel it in your heart? Do you feel the strong winds in Nevada this morning? The winds of change? And there's so many things that we used to rely on for security that aren't there in the same way anymore. And what are we left with? We're left with what's inside of us. Love is showing us the way forward. It comes from each and every one of you. Oh, there's water on the windows. It's cleaning off the view. Solutions everywhere. I say love will lead. Oh, love will lead. Love will lead us there. Stand up if you like. Sing along. Love will lead. Yeah, love will lead. Love will lead us there. Love is guiding the way. It's coming through you and it's coming through me. Bless you this week and shine your light on everyone in your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Sky. Thanks for being here. Good to have you here. If our ushers would come forward. So good to have you all here. As we extend our hands to this offering, we bless this offering in the consciousness that this is infinite substance from which there is never any lack or limitation. And we go forth from here to be the love, to be the light of the world, to touch the world right where it needs to be touched. And we give thanks, and so it is. Amen. Amen.
Thank you so much, Sky. We really appreciate your presence here. Sky is, you can stay on that same slide for a minute. Sky has also got a table out here with CDs and his book. He's a physicist, like I said, and a performer. His book is called Living in the Flow, and it's the science of synchronicity. So he blends science and spirituality. So he's a smart dude, you guys. Go talk to him after the service. That's all I got to say about that. But I also, while we're on this same slide, I want to take a moment to say thank you to online viewers and to our wonderful tech team up here with Connectly in the lead with Patrick, Skylar, and Chris. Thank you. And Liv is part of that tech team too. We never say that to you. She's doing all these wonderful things too. So thank you all. We really appreciate you. Yeah. And I want to say thank you to Reverend Tim for your amazing talk. Both services were very different. But to capture it, your ending was your love, period. And we are the presence of love, yes? And as a community, we can ask the question, how do we intersect with these people, other people? Listening, love is listening, right? And it's so important and so powerful. And basically, we start with loving one moment at a time, right? And some people say it's a day at a time, but for me, it's moment by moment a lot of the time. So, just start small and know that we're loved. Oh, that was it. When I was sitting there, what I came up with was love is a superpower. So that came to me while we were there. Okay, all right, now we'll get on to what I'm supposed to be doing. Our flower sponsors, we have actually 3 flower sponsors this week. First, Katie Ruley, in honor of her son, Warren. Today is the angelversary of his transition. And Jill Culver in memory of her parents. And Lynn Seaver-Forsey is both hospitality sponsor and a flower sponsor, and she's celebrating all the Aquarian birthdays this month, as well as her own. And Carolyn Gautier did these beautiful flower arrangements. You can sponsor those flowers or hospitality by seeing Charcel, and she's got sign-up sheets for you to get your name up on there and do it in honor of somebody or your own self. So, next, I would just gotta say is, will the Unity and Marin prayer chaplains please stand up? It was like they were all here the first service, but you are here too. Okay. So, Unity and Marin prayer chaplains are here to support you with any joy, any concern, anything that's going on for you. They are here to pray with you. And if you just tap them on the shoulder, they're happy to do that. And you don't even have to tell them what the problem is, because Spirit works directly through them, and they get the download, and what they pray is exactly what is needed to be heard. So be sure to take advantage of this. Thank you, prayer chaplains, for the gift of your sacred service. And now if you'll all please stand together, and we'll say the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And if you'll take the hand of the person next to you, we'll sing our peace song. Have a wonderful Sunday, everyone.